Thank you. If you've ever had your dam drain itself, your road corrode, or your bridge collapse, you probably should have called the scientists at the Missouri Soil Characterization Lab before you started digging.
That sounded like a Dr. Seuss book, but as the team explained,
I was reading it first.
As the team explained exclusively to KOMU8's Tom McLean, after huge budget cuts, the jobs and research of these soil scientists are eroding.
Nestled between the golden cornfields of the heartland, buried deep under the earth of the University of Missouri, a team of soil scientists have spent 24 years operating.
It's inductively coupled plasma optical emission spectroscopy.
Don't worry if you have no idea what that machine does.
Cups of soil in there and you let it stir for 30 minutes and then you take a reading.
That's their job. But there is a good chance the team from the Missouri Soil Characterization Lab made sure you built your home on steady foundations.
If you're buying your farm, you hopefully didn't buy it where it's highly erodible and it's just going to give you a lot, you're going to have a lot more issues to deal with.
Problems property developers do not have to tell you about.
Have cracks in your houses, or you can have structural damage, so kind of expensive stuff. Okay.
Often months ahead of federal government research, they map out the soil types of Missouri, the United States and the world.
Red here is highly erodible, the green is not highly erodible, and the yellow is potentially erodible.
But when they dug through the state government's 2010 budget, they found their funding nowhere to be found. The government chose to subsidise farmers' pond building projects, but not the research behind them.
Due to the budget constraints that have been going on and reduction in tax revenues, they decided to cut back several things. They dropped all funding for the lab.
I asked if the lab could just be an
unlucky target.
Russell has a lot to think about. He started working in the lab 17 years ago as a student.
It's a very popular program among farmers because they get ponds for 25% of their actual cost. So it's a popular political decision to take taxpayer money and spend it on farmers who will then vote for the elected official.
With no state government contracts, their soil research work is beginning to spread thin. They're left working on projects for local developers, property owners, and occasionally the federal government.
Really, if you put our work in first, then you could get ponds where they need to. You end up saving money for the state. And that's really the kind of things that we're talking about, is that doing the science first really helps save the funds.
They think their $250,000 cost per year easily outweighs the expense of any building project that fails because of poor soil knowledge.
My mom said, a stitch in time, or pound saved. You want to be prudent ahead of time, and we really think it's important that you do the right engineering, the right science first, and then you don't have to go back and fix up the problems later.
In the meantime, the team continues to dig for soil, funding, or just a way out of their problem. In Columbia, Tom McLean, KOMU8 News.
The team is polishing up their website to launch in a few weeks. We'll let you know when it's up so you can view the maps of the good and bad soils in Missouri when deciding where to build. We'll go